I was halfway through my night shift, the kind that seeps into your bones and leaves silence trailing in your wake, when the intercom cracked to life with a code 3. Critical. Life-threatening. Routine chaos in a trauma ward. I barely looked up, until I heard the names. My wife, my son, my brother. They landed like gunshots, each one shattering a piece of my calm. Ran. Not walked. Not rushed. Then. I don't even remember the feel of the ground beneath my feet. Just the hallway blurring past me, the sterile overhead lights flickering like warning signs from a world that was about to end. And then I saw them. 3 bodies on gurneys, motionless, bloodied, unconscious. Machines were already being wheeled in. Nurses moved fast but solemn. A doctor stepped into my path, and though his voice was steady, his hands betrayed him, trembling slightly. "You can't see them yet," he said. In that moment I wasn't a doctor. I wasn't a husband. I wasn't even a father. I was an animal, something primal, clawing past reason and protocol. "Why?" I asked. My voice cracked foreign. "Not mine." He lowered his eyes. "The police will explain once they arrive." And that was the moment my heart stopped pretending it was whole. I met her in med school. Long hours. Mutual ambition. A quiet loneliness that wrapped around both of us like a blanket. We fell in love not just because we had chemistry but because we understood sacrifice. We were building something. Coffee-fueled mornings, synced calendars, and emergency room horror stories swapped like war medals. She gave up her residency after our son was born. Said she wanted to be present, to be there. And I believed her. Why wouldn't I? My brother Nate was always the free spirit. A man who floated between women, jobs, and countries like nothing could anchor him. He was charming in a way that made consequences optional. I paid his bail once. Cleared his debt. Let him stay in our home when he said he wanted to start over. I noticed her eyes linger longer when he was in the room. The extra softness in her voice when she said his name. I told myself I was imagining things. Until I wasn't. Her phone started living face down. Laughter in the kitchen would stop the second I entered. Grocery trips that took too long. A too warm inflection when she mentioned him. One night I woke to the sound of voices, hers and his, outside. Whispering. I didn't move. I didn't confront. Just listened. "You think he suspects?" "No. He trusts me too much." The silence that followed was louder than any affair could ever be. I didn't rage. I didn't scream. I started collecting the truth like evidence. Cold. Calculated. She used my old Apple ID on her phone's backup. Careless mistake. That was all it took. Their messages unfolded like poison on a screen. Photos. Flirting. Jokes about my night shifts. Plans for secret weekends. I didn't flinch. Archived everything. Nate had a past. Charges expunged but not erased. I found a business account he forgot to shut down. The address. Big. The financials. Fraudulent. I hired a private investigator. Quiet, discreet. He found more than I expected. Motel receipts. Video footage. One clip showed them leaving a room together. Asterisk with my son asterisk in tow. That was the line. The one they crossed without looking back. Step 1. Custody. I filed for emergency custody, citing instability and endangerment. My lawyer didn't blink. The judge reviewed the evidence. Photos. Footage. Her text. She lost partial custody on the spot. Step 2. Exposure. Anonymously, I forwarded the footage and financial records to the licensing board. Ethical misconduct. Unfit for reinstatement. Her application to return to medicine was denied. Step 3. My brother. I turned the fraud evidence over to the police through a concerned citizen report. They opened an investigation. His accounts were frozen. His travel restricted. But none of that was checkmate. That came when I rewrote my will, striking her name from everything. Every policy, every account. I left it all to our son. Then I sent her the papers with one sentence. This is the only part of me you ever truly cared about. So when I saw them wheeled in that night, I already knew. Not the specifics, but the trajectory. They'd been heading out of town. She was driving. Nate in the passenger seat. Our son in the back. Storm. Alcohol. Speed. Poor visibility. She lost control. One car. 3 bodies. One secret shattered in steel and glass. The police arrived hours later. I sat alone on a cold bench outside the trauma bay. My scrubs were soaked in someone else's blood. Maybe mine. They told me what I already guessed. Vehicular negligence. Alcohol in her system. Charges pending. ***. My son had a broken arm and a minor concussion. He would live. Nate was in a coma. She woke up to handcuffs on the bed rail. I never visited. She left voicemails. Wrote letters. Begged. Apologized. Said she still loved me. Said she was lost. I sent her one response. A copy of the signed divorce decree. My son asks questions he doesn't yet know how to form. Answer with time. With presence. With therapy, playgrounds and pancakes. We rebuild. Brick by brick. She lost her license. Nate lost his freedom. They lost the comfort of my silence. I didn't shout. I didn't threaten. I raised the truth like a blade. The night she was sentenced, I sat in the back of the courtroom. She didn't look at me. Not once. The judge called her reckless. I call her forgotten. People ask how I stayed so calm. Simple. When someone shows you who they are, ***, believe them ***. But when they show your child who they are, ***, make damn sure that memory never becomes a mirror. I was a husband, brother, father. Now I'm just a man who remembered his worth. And reminded them of it. One quiet, irreversible cut at a time.